Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on live stream music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Crosby, Stills, Nash Young, iconic powers in the music industry. And through the song Teach Your Children Well, we looked at that very thing. How can we prepare our kids for life, for all of it? So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to a bunch of guys that were formed in Essex in the UK in 1980. We had Dave Gowan on lead vocals, Martin Gore on keyboards, guitar, bit of songwriting, Andy Fletcher on keyboards, Vince Clarke on keyboards, and he was later replaced by Alan Wilder when Vince went off to form the band Yazoo with Alison Moyet. The guys we're talking about are Depeche Mode, and you cannot do a series like this one without talking about these guys, because when it was not cool to do so, when it was a bit of a new thing, these guys were well and truly getting into electronic music. So we didn't see too much in guitars, it was more keyboard-based stuff. And certainly around that late 1970s, where it was very much sort of rock and that sort of stuff, electronic music was almost frowned upon a little bit. And certainly in the UK, where these guys were, the critics were particularly harsh on these guys, but the fans were dancing and loving everything these guys were doing because they were so different. Of course, you know, they were good-looking guys as well. They had catchy tunes, catchy hooks, the whole thing. And so who cares what the critics said? These guys were absolutely massive. But it was in the USA where these guys found their success, hit the ground running. It's there that they were selling out massive stadiums every time these guys played, and became quite big in the US, which is pretty cool. Major influence, these guys, in fact, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020 after being nominated a couple of times. It just goes to show that these guys, 40 years after they started, to be acknowledged by your peers eventually, just goes to show how well these guys are regarded. Between 1981 and 2017, and how long is that career? 14 studio albums, 7 live albums, 10 compilation albums, 15 video albums, 70 music videos, 55 singles and 16 box sets. Estimated these guys have sold around 100 million albums. They've had 54 songs in the UK charts, and they've had one number one album in the US and 2 number one albums in the UK. I think it's a classic case of when the UK realised what these guys actually were, they actually ended up loving them, which is pretty cool. It was in 1988 these guys played at the Pasadena Rose Bowl and to 60,000 people. So that's a pretty big concert right there. VH1 put these guys in number 98 of the top 100 artists of all times. Billboard put them at number 10 dance band of all time. As well as their 5 Grammy nominations, they've also got a BMI London Award, Brit Award, and Ivor Novello Award. So these guys are pretty significant in the scheme of things. Back at the start of the 1980s, you know, drum machines were only just starting to come in. Keyboards were kind of starting to take over a little bit. And who needs guitars when you do your bass line on the keyboard and all the rest of it? And the thing called sampling, where you would find a sound, you digitize it, then you put it into your song. These guys are very much pioneers in that whole thing as well. And you think, oh, what's that sound? And it's just something that's been sampled and digitized. It's what guys makes Depeche Mode so compelling. Now, I first met Depeche Mode here all the way over in Adelaide, South Australia, through Just Can't Get Enough. Came off the album Spell of 1981. Now, when you think Just Can't Get Enough, the thing I love about this song, first of all, is that the keyboard hooks are pretty amazing. The other thing I love about these guys, you cannot dismiss how good the vocals are with these guys. You know, Dave does such a fantastic job on lead vocals. It's a little bit lower, but that's okay. And the harmonies are pretty good as well. And you know, when you put in the whole keyboard catchy thing. It's really quite impressive what these guys can actually do. Now, just can't get enough. What do you think? Oh yeah, we know what that's about. Have a look at the lyrics a little bit more before we jump to that conclusion quite so quickly. There's more to just can't get enough in those intimate moments. It's more than that. It's like when I'm walking down the street with you, when I'm looking into your eyes, just your whole thing is just so compelling. I just want to be with you the whole time. And there's something kind of following on a little bit by, first of all, Christina Aguilera, Gina in a Bottle, I did a little while ago. Ben Lee also with Into the Dark. Very much what it is, we try. This is love is a voyage of discovery. It's a voyage of wanting to know the best, wanting to know all of the person. We don't want to know just part of it, because that's not enough. We actually want to know all of them, and we're going to do everything it takes to actually get there. Because you know what? When I discover who you are, there's magic and wonder, and I just want more and more and more of it, because you know, you've kind of taken over my world a little bit here. And this is what's quite compelling about this song. When you put the keyboard riff in there a little bit, and when I'm thinking about this now a little bit more, there's something quite urgent about this keyboard hook. And there's just something about, yeah, I can't get enough, and I just need to I'm so wound up and so excited about you that I just can't get enough. Think about the Rolling Stones, can't get no satisfaction. You know, sometimes we're just a little bit reluctant to go to this extent, but you know, there's nothing like music to kind of get us over the line sometimes with this stuff. Because if you've got a girl or a guy in your life and they're absolutely amazing, compelling, tell them how amazing they are. Tell them how wonderful they are. Tell them, hey, I just can't wait to see you again. And the challenge, of course, in relationships, and of course, we all know love is patient and kind all the time, all right? And the thing about relationships is they're not. And the thing is, it's like, you know, we're discovering who this mystery of love, and hopefully you just can't get enough of each other, by the way, as well. But, you know, the thing is, how can we sustain this feeling of wonder and magic all through our relationship? Obviously, at the start, love is new and fresh and vibrant and exciting, and you just can't get enough, all that sort of thing. But as love grows and hopefully deepens, that feverish just get enough says, hey, I'm absolutely enjoying this time with you. I'm so glad you've been in my life for the last 20 years, and you know what? I still can't get enough of you. In fact, I don't need to say those words quite as nuts, because, you know, there's a familiarity, there's a safety, there's a comfort about just being in someone else's life and they're being in yours, and just that deep resonance with each other. And, you know, and every now and then, just now if it's 20, 30 years down the track, just can't get enough, right? The fire and the passion that this kind of conjures up. Well, who says that has to be that just at the start? It can be anywhere. So, you know, if you're a little bit of a rut with that stuff, think, well, how can I shake things up a bit? What can I actually do to bring the fire back? And, you know, I reckon your partner might be really, really appreciative of the fact. You know, and maybe just for you girls out there, you know, if a guy's trying to make a bit of an effort here, go with the flow, hey, because he just can't get enough of you. And you know, just go with the flow a bit there. And, you know, guys, if you're a bit whatever about that whole thing, and the girl's making the effort, hey, go with the flow, because she can't get enough of you right now. Catch the fire, because sometimes the fire goes out a bit and someone makes an effort and it doesn't go anywhere, and think, be a little bit more reluctant to try it next time. But, you know, what we want, apart from the communication and that resonance in someone, we want someone to feel fire. We want there to be fire and passion. That's just the whole thing that goes along with the relationship. So even if you're in your 80s, 90s, whatever it is, there is fire still there. So make sure you keep it alight. And as we look at the clips, and we'll get on to them now, made Depeche Mode, you know, these pioneers in electric music back in the 1980s, just get that fire going just that little bit more. And what can we say about Dave's vocals? He really is just a compelling front man, and we're going to get onto some live clips of these guys in a minute, just to bring that out even more. So let's get on to the clip. So we have Just Can't Get Enough. We got a live version of this one and the official clip of this one. You know, 1980s, what can we say? This is what it was all about. The live clip's a little bit later on, but look how many guys are in the audience here. These guys have got a worldwide following, a bit of a force of nature, these guys. So got live and official of Just Can't Get Enough. When you hear that, if you might have forgotten there's this song and you see that keyboard link, oh, that's right. Yeah, I love this song that when I got. In fact, I can remember getting up on the dance floor and dancing to this song. This was a huge dance song. We then got Enjoy the Silence. This came off the album Violator from 1990. So, 10 years down the track. This is the live version. And this is very much about the fact is, hey, if it's just not get enough, it's more like, hey, I just really, really love being with you. I know we don't necessarily have to say anything. There's a resonance and a comfort here and a safety here. So Enjoy the Silence is a beautiful live version from Violator from 1990. We then got a bit of a political statement to the world, and to the world right now. People are people. How can it be you and I don't get along so famously? What's going on there? And this is a bit of an official clip and a bit of a statement to the world. Some Great Will Roar album from 1984. This is a bit of a political statement, and in the 1980s it was getting a bit scary. It really, really was. And so it's good to see that we've actually gone past that point. But, 25 years down the track, have we learnt anything? People are people. Why can't we get on with each other? There's a bit of a call to the world. These electronic pop guys in the same, and of course orchestral manoeuvres in the dark, who are very much inspired by these guys in Enola Gay. And so very much people are people. Why can't we get on with each other? We then got a bit of a reflective song by Depeche Mode, Somebody, again a live version. Just the backdrop of this clip is a bit weird and a little bit, just watch it though. I think they're trying to get onto something here. They're trying to actually unsettle the audience a little bit here, to get into the complexity of who we are as human beings. Came off the 1984 album Blasphemous Rumours, as that's a live version as well. So as you watch these clips, you'll see what I mean by how compelling Dave is up the front, and just how incredibly compelling Just Can't Get Enough is in particular. I hope I showed a bit of a breadth of how talented Depeche Mode actually have been and are still going. Some 20, 40 years later. Great to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nod and the critics finally coming around to how compelling and influential these guys have been. So the links to those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from Crosby, Still, Nash and Young. So if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, as I say at the end of my videos, because I do love people hanging around to the end of these videos, because you kind of miss out if you don't do that. So if you have got to the end, you think, well, that was okay. He's got some interesting observations to make on life. The girl or the guy I've got, well, I just can't get a guff. I'm just going to have to just, give them a call right now. Or it's a right now moment right here. Sometimes it's a right now thing. So, if you get a call from your partner, say, okay, yeah, how quick can you get here? That sort of thing. So if you have hung around to the end and you need to send a video right now because you just can't get enough, well, catch you around next time. But yeah, thank you for hanging around, everybody. If this is your first time or you've come back for another one, really great to see you all here. So that's it for today. Next time we're going to get on to Earth, Wind and Fire. There's that word again, fire. My bit of a hint here, guys. So that's where we're heading next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.